to the Smartist Studio Series, where smart artists gather to share their wisdom, creativity, and innovative approaches to art making and running a successful art business. I'm Debra Amerson, an AI artist, and your host on this exciting journey of creative exploration. Every week, we'll be diving deep into the ways that smartists or smart artists, a phrase I coined, are currently leveraging or interested in utilizing AI technologies in the future to enhance their creative processes and streamline their art business. So today, we have a very special guest with us. But before I introduce her, remember to hit the subscribe button. Tell us where you're located in the world and click the bell icon so you never miss an episode of our Smartist Studio Series. You'll find resources below that do include some affiliate links that will help our new channel to grow. Now, let's welcome our guest for today, Amy Carr, an incredible photographer who's been making waves in the San Francisco Bay Area art community. And let's hear how Amy incorporates AI technologies. Welcome, Amy Carr.
Hi, Deborah. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. We're happy to have you here. So to start off, Amy, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background in art?
I started out shooting, film and slide film as well, mostly overseas because I was living overseas at the time. And I was living in Japan, and I had a little photo studio right down the alleyway. So I would go out for a little photo jaunt, and then I'd come back and I would have the film developed. And it usually took like 2 days to get it back. And so I didn't get immediate feedback, which was a little frustrating at the time, but still I was thrilled about it. And then when digital photography hit the scene, I jumped right on that train because I could get immediate feedback and I could change all the features and the functions of the camera in real time and reshoot and get some really amazing results. So I've been basically teaching photography for the past 20 years. I worked 15 years at the Academy of Art as a digital photography instructor, and later I was teaching videography as well to graduate students in the advertising and marketing department. And at the same time, I was also running my own photography business, specializing in event photojournalism and candid portraiture.
Wonderful.
So not only am I a photographer, but I'm also a photo editor, using tools such as Photoshop and Lightroom to enhance my imagery. And so when then AI hit the scene as of late, I jumped on that train too and got very excited about the possibility of doing a hybrid, not just throwing out digital photography and my own photography in lieu of the AI technology, but actually trying to learn how to blend the two and use them in ways that and create imagery that I haven't been able to actually create ever before. So I'm very excited about the AI technology and mindful of how it can be used as a tool rather than wiping out, photography as we know it from our workflow.
I couldn't agree more. I think it's a tool that is so expansive for artists. If you learn how to embrace it and harness it, it is a game changer.
It really
So
is.
let's talk about the benefits of AI for artists. And what you said was very fascinating. And what are some of the benefits you've discovered in using AI tools for art making, and how has it changed your creative process?
Yeah. So basically, I feel like it's expanded my creative palette or possibility or even my workflow in the sense that if I have an image in my mind, I can easily go into one of the tools and I can put in a prompt and I can get results immediately, and it can kind of give me ideas about how I could enhance a photo shoot, for example, in real time in real life. But
Mhm.
also I can create backgrounds, for example, or different clothing. Um, I can change my model's clothing. I can um, create a model that doesn't even exist, for example,
Mhm.
if I wanted to. But it kind of gives me ideas. Whereas before I would have to flip through magazines, or I'd see an inspirational photo, I'd be like, I want to do that. But now I can get, I have the world has opened, different styles, different cultures, blending of different styles, cultures, lighting, even different cameras. I can use, I can prompt different cameras to create the imagery, whereas, I'm kind of limited with the gear that I have now. But so it just basically expands my my tool set, my possibilities, and I can do it all in the comfort of my home, and also right at my computer. So again, I'm not replacing photography. I think there's a real important place for it, and I hope that it doesn't replace it. But for now, I'm just looking at it as a new toy to
Mhm.
play with and to enhance my imagery and possibilities, and offer new possibilities to my clients in a very quick way.
Yeah, I agree. One thing we need to define for people who are brand new artists who are getting into AI is what's a script and what's a prompt.
Yeah,
So, um, I'll let you talk about it and then I'll add whatever if I need to. Just let's talk about what people are saying to me, well, how are you doing this? And I basically say, I'm painting the picture with words.
that's right. That,
So go into that a little bit.
yeah. So basically, I use different tools. Midjourney is one of them. And so if let's just use that as an example. So if I want to create an image in Midjourney, I start with slash imagine, and it creates a prompt box. And then I enter the subject, whatever the subject is going to be, and a description of the subject. Um, and then whatever detailed action that subject is doing. And then a description of the artistic style, like fairycore or punkcore, um, which are a derivative of the subculture of fashion. Um, and then it could be, a pop culture reference like hip hop um, or salsa dancing, something like that. And then I could also put references to photography lenses, the kind of camera, lighting, color. So if I want a blue distress background, I can do that. So one of the more recent um, prompts I've been playing around with are Asian people, but blending it with a different subculture that wouldn't exist, that doesn't exist, which is quite fascinating. It's very fantastical, in fact, and getting really interesting results from that.
So you're using Midjourney. I haven't used that AI program. I use Chat GPT. It's called Dolly.
Okay.
And I just went, my images are all plants because that's kind of my wheelhouse and nature driven artistry. So I wrote scripts from scratch. So it's interesting to hear that they have these prompts. It's kind of cool to get you started. So you don't have to start. That's helpful for an artist. It's like when a songwriter wants to write and they can't think of where to start. It's a jump off point that I think
Yes.
is really valuable. It's a different, your way of doing it is a little different from mine, but it's basically the same. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't, um, I tell people that if there were 5 of us at a table and we all had the AI open and we were all doing a red truck,
Right.
a fire truck, our fire trucks would all look different
That's right.
because of the prompts and the commands and the way we're setting the scene and what we're focusing our attention on. So the more literal and precise, and it's like getting really intimate with the subject that you want. And that's why for me with the plants, I've worked with plants for like 45 years. So for me, I've been staring at them and I know them so well that it's a it's a natural thing for me. And like for you living overseas in Japan, when you showed me your work, I could see a Japanese vibe,
Yeah.
your imagery, which was really beautiful. And then I think offline, I told you a story about being in Tokyo and being in some really cool department store and seeing mannequins that had like floral heads. And it kind of reminded me of your images, that your beautiful AI art. So it's just, I just see the possibilities here are just endless.
Yeah.
And it's not just that, it's that we're bringing out the best in the machine learning. It's like, it's not just the AI doing this. It's like I'm finding this real collaboration with
Absolutely.
it. And the more we do it, the more it remembers what you want. Not to say that my AI doesn't throw me curveballs every so often. I've had to slap them down. Uh, I had to say, please don't say this ever again. And I had to say it and say it's like punishing a child, but it finally got it and we can move on. So, I mean, they do make mistakes and sometimes really, I don't know about you, but I've had some really funky stuff come out sometimes.
Yeah. Hmm. Yes, definitely. Yeah,
I
like
asked
coming
for
out of someone's back or
Yeah, I asked for a plant called hen and chicks, and I get this succulent that has a hen's head and all these baby chicks on every one of the little succulent babies. And it was so weird, but wonderful. I was like, oh boy, we're out there now.
talk
So
about imagination.
yeah, it's crazy. Okay, let's talk about balancing AI and creativity. So one thing many artists worry about is that using AI might overshadow their creativity. So how do you, Amy Carr, balance the use of AI with your own creative intuition?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think it's important to do what you've done pre-AI. In other words, like I'm going out and I'm doing a normal photo shoot. That has nothing to do with AI. And so I'm continuously retraining my brain to have a parallel track, if you will, of modalities. So I have my regular photo shoot, what I would do normally with my camera in real time with real people in a real environment with real light, the sun or otherwise artificial. And so I'm continuously practicing and getting better as a photographer, as an artist. And at the same time, I have the AI track, which is actually a completely different process. It doesn't include a camera at all. It doesn't include real people at all, unless you ask it to make an image in the likeness of a photo that I took with my camera. Um, so it's important to compartmentalize these technologies, if you will, or these tracks, for lack of a better word, um, and and really be strong in both. And then you'll have the gray area in between where you can cross pollinate, where you can do fusion, and which is something I'm very interested in doing, and learning a lot about that as well. So I'm trying not to replace one for the other. I'm trying to continue to do both and become experts in both so that I can form a third track, if you will, which would be the blended uh, cross pollination, co creation of both tracks and create something completely new by using both.
Totally makes sense. Yeah, I agree. You know, I have a whole background in plant design in buildings for years, setting the scene with plants,
Yeah.
and so I found my niche with the AI, and it just feels so natural. And for me, it makes me happy because I am doing something that I absolutely love, and I'm learning so much from the technology. So it's very cool.
Yeah.
How about tips? Let's talk about tips for beginners beginning artists who are beginning to use AI. For our viewers just starting to explore AI in their art practice, what are some beginner-friendly tips or tools that you would recommend or that you used in the beginning of your journey into AI?
Mhm. Well, like I said, I've been using Midjourney. That was my entree into the whole AI world. And so I'm really diving deep into that technology and getting really specific as to what the prompts are, and also expanding my knowledge of different pop cultures and different artists that I resonate with. And so doing my research on the side and then continuously refining the prompts so that I can get more of the results that I want. And I'm also in the process of learning how to take real photographs and blend them with AI. So that's like a whole other process to learn, which can be quite daunting, quite frankly. So for beginners, just, you know, putting their toe into this technology, I would say just play with it. Just be intuitive with it. Just see what you get. Put a prompt in, see what you get. And then you'll know what your next step will be in terms of what you need to learn. And it shouldn't be a daunting process. I mean, this technology is pretty fantastic. It's doing like the lion's share of the work, so to speak, but you just need to know how to tune into the technology to understand how the technology works to get the results that you want. Very similar to a camera, the camera doesn't see the world that we do. It has limited scope of what it understands. I mean, our eyes are the greatest camera in the world. So understanding how the technology works so we can feed it the information that it needs in order to interpret, our image in our mind, if that makes sense. It's a language, basically. We need to
Mhm.
learn the language. And that should be fun. It shouldn't be something that we're like racking our brain about. And this technology is shifting and changing every day. And that's, unless you're really dedicated to understanding, first of all, how the technology works and then growing along with it, then I would just say, just have fun with it. See what you get. It might not be what you imagine. It might be something better than you imagine, or it might take you on a completely different track that inspires you as an artist, as a
That's the cool
medium.
part that I find very interesting.
Yeah,
When
yes,
we create, or I create, or you create a prompt that you have a certain expectation that it's
right.
going to look like, and then
Mhm.
the AI comes back and just goes way beyond in a great way
Yeah,
from where I was thinking. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. It's like collaborating with a really good collaborator, a great collaborator. For
yeah,
me, I find. Um, I don't know Midjourney. Like I said, I use Chat and Dolly. And on the left-hand side of the program, I start new chats or new Dolly pieces. I keep like if I'm into a certain kind of plant that I'm working on, I'll do a brand new chat there, but the machine learning is still included in all that.
That's
And
right.
I also highly recommend, and I don't know if you have this in Midjourney, but there's an area in chat where I could actually tell chat who I am, what I've done, what I want to do, and where I see this going. And so that's also incorporated in there before we just have these little scripts going back and forth. There's like meat on the bone.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, do you have that similar thing in Midjourney where you can, and I keep track of all mine, I can go back and forth into
Yep.
any of my prior
Hmm.
conversations, if I'm doing Chat GPT or my imagery under Dolly.
Yeah. So you have to start with Discord first. You can't just go straight into Midjourney.
Okay, you got to tell people what that means.
Yeah. So Discord is like a meeting place. Let's just make it real simple. A meeting place um, where you can get a Midjourney bot, and then you have to start with the newbie in the newbies category. I know this sounds kind of complicated, and it is.
We'll have to put some links on the bottom
Yeah,
of this
yeah.
video.
Discord.com. So
Okay.
you start there, and then you can use Midjourney within the framework of that meeting place, so to speak. And so once you go through, you have to jump through a couple hoops in
Is
order
there
to.
a cost to go to Discord or
No,
Midjourney?
no,
This is a
no.
free tool.
It's a free tool, but the free version is limited. So
Uh,
I have subscribed to Midjourney, but you don't subscribe to Discord.
Okay.
Um, so in Discord, you have a Midjourney bot. And so within that meeting place, you can put in your prompts. And then with other newbies, new people that are creating imagery for the first time, you can start putting in the prompts and getting your images. And then you can select which images you like. And then it will automatically go to your email. There's an email portal that is designed within Discord. So you can go into the email portal and you can see all of the images that you created and the prompts associated with the images. So that's really helpful. And then it also puts a copy of whatever you've created, but not with the prompts, into Midjourney. So in Midjourney, you have to go into the archive section, and then you'll see all of your images there. After you've created 100 images in Discord, you can kind of ditch Discord and go straight into Midjourney and start doing your image creation within that application.
That was really helpful. So does Discord or Midjourney ever get so much traffic that they ask you to slow down your creation?
That's a good question. They never ask you to. Every time someone puts in a prompt for an image, it is shown on a feed. So if there are many people that are prompting at the same time and creating imagery, then you have to wait until you see your imagery in the feed. But at any time, I know, at any time you can go to your email portal and you can see the images that you create there, which is very helpful. Otherwise, you kind of have to scroll through and look at everybody else's imagery before you can find yours within
Huh,
that feed. But it's actually pretty fascinating to see other people's work.
yeah.
And the props are readily associated with the imagery that they create.
Different. It's a really different, what you're describing, your little portal is very different from mine. So I can be rolling along and all of a sudden chat gets slow. And I
Okay.
know it's really busy. Like there are certain times, weeknights and different times during the day where it's really bogged down and you have to regenerate it to get it to go. But then other times, so the thing about AI that I'll say here is we can create images within like 2 or 3 minutes.
Correct.
And you write your script either freehand or you can copy it in a Word document and paste it, whatever your style is, whatever you want to do. And but I have been stopped on many occasions. You're generating images too quickly because I get such a rush and I'm on a roll and I'm like, oh my God, now I got to do this plant and this and this and this. And
Yeah.
it's, hold on, babe, slow it down. We're going to make you leave. You have to take a 13-minute time out to let other people
Oh,
catch up.
exactly.
So then I just go, okay, put it to the side. And then I've saved my images. I can just drag and drop my images to the desktop.
Oh,
This
that's
is
nice.
where it's a little different. And then I go right into iPhoto on my Mac. And then from there, I do further image processing, but I'm going to talk about that in a few episodes down the road. We'll get into uh, enhancing images, sizing images, getting ready for print, this kind of thing.
Yes.
Um,
Great.
so for today, I think that you've been super helpful and inspirational. Thank you so much, Amy.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah, for sharing all your insights with us today. And it's been inspiring to learn about the innovative ways you're using AI in your art. And I just want to say thank you.
You are very welcome. It's my pleasure, and I'm excited to see what you create moving forward.
Yay. Yay.
Yay!
And to our viewers, thank you for tuning in. This is our first ever series for artists. And if you found today's episode valuable, please hit the like, comment, and ask questions and share this series with your artist friends. And next week, we'll be discussing more exciting topics on how AI can revolutionize your art business. Stay tuned and please subscribe. And we'll see you next time on the Smartist Studio Series. And again, please like, comment, tell me where you're sitting, where you're watching this from. I love to know that we're reaching people far and wide. And thank you very much.